Welcome to Sailing Avanti. We are Gerard and Jacqueline, sailing our 41-foot monohull Avanti around the world from Cape Town, South Africa.
It's almost sunset in St. Lucia and we're on a mooring ball right between the Pitons. To the left is Petit Piton and to the right Gros Piton that we'll be climbing tomorrow. In this episode we'll also be bathing in some hot springs and snorkel this marine park. And just before you go, we'll look at some statistics.
Tonight we're having a very special meal, moussaka. It's our favorite Greek meal, and we're at the Pitons in St. Lucia. Very special meal and some Zandvliet wine. So what a treat.
An early start where a local fisherman takes us around the back of Gros Piton is where a local Rasta lives on the beach and shows us where the trail starts. His family has lived around this bay for generations.
I'll just put you in front. Okay. Yeah, because you left the right way at the right time.
Yes.
The early you leave, the better for you.
Earlier.
You look at the cloud, it goes all to the left.
Okay, good.
Good.
Yes. Check this pineapple.
1, 2, 3, only 771 meters to go. It's 6:15 in the morning, so it's still very bright and early, and the sweat is running down my face like I've just gotten out of the pool or the sea. It's so hot. I don't know what we're gonna look like by the time we reach the top. It's gonna be crazy. Papaya and mango trees are seen everywhere, and the green papayas that we see on the trees is also how we see them in the markets. I asked a local why this is one of the fruits that we see green in the markets instead of ripe like the others, and he explained that they use green papayas to boil with their meat as a tenderizer. Since we started the trail so early, we were the only people there, and on the way down, however, we met a few local guides that were not too happy about us being on the mountain in the national park without the guide. These days, you're only allowed to climb the Pitons with a local guide, and the hike starts from their village. Now, since we started on the beach, we missed that sign and had to apologize all the way down. As we get closer to the top, we can clearly see the difference in landscape from the bottom. The start of the hike was dry with mostly small bush and grasslands, compared to the bigger trees and green plants we see now.
Even the ground is starting to feel muddy.
Today we're tasting the Piton lager beer. It's made in St. Lucia, brewed in St. Lucia, and it's named after the two mountains in St. Lucia. We at the moment are on the bigger one of the mountains and the higher one, Gros Piton. And in the background you can see Petit Piton. It's a little bit lower than the bigger one, but it's much more challenging to hike. So we hiked up here, and I think we deserve a beer. So they call it a Pilsner lager. It should be bitter if it is a Pilsner. But not really that bitter. Pretty much the same or similar to the other lagers that's brewed on the islands. So also comes in very small cans, 5% alcohol, 275 milliliter cans, and you also get them in a small bottle. We have been able to find drafts at some places, so I should score them better for the size. So in terms of a rating for this Mystic Mountain brew, I would say it's a 7 out of 10. See, everybody left. Everybody left.
That's how they do it. He probably want to come this afternoon.
Yes. Oh, there's one now.
Oh, here comes one.
After spending 2 very gusty nights on a mooring wall between the two pitons, we move Avanti just around the corner to Soufriere Bay. With limited time here, we quickly launch the dinghy and head to the dinghy dock to see what the town has to offer. Soufriere Bay used to be the capital of the island, but is now only a relatively small fishing village. It's also a popular dive spot, and it gives access to the hot springs and a beautiful botanical garden.
We are in the Diamond Botanical Gardens today. So in St. Lucia there is an active volcano, and you could go there by taxi or walk there, and there's guides that can take you to the actual place. They call it a drive-in volcano, not sure what that means, but our legs are way too sore. And here in the Diamond Gardens, it's a botanical garden, but it also has hot springs, so there's warm baths that one can go relax your muscles after the hike we did yesterday. So we've chosen to rather do the gardens today instead of the really strong sulfur smell of the volcano itself, and we're really excited.
The water coming directly from the waterfall and that runs down a little ravine through the botanical park looks quite murky and has this graphite color. We were not too keen to actually bath in this. Lucky for us, they have a settling tank where the hot water from the springs run into, the mud settles out, and the water coming into the actual baths are crystal clear. These waters are packed with natural minerals and are very healthy to bath in. I just enjoyed the bath because I haven't had a proper hot water bath in more than 4 months.
My legs are in heaven. The warm water is relaxing all my muscles after yesterday.
There's also larger public baths filled with these hot mineral waters that anybody can jump into and enjoy. The Botanical Gardens form part of an estate that's owned by a French family. The estate was given to the French family by King Louis XIV and was used to produce cocoa and lime.
Diamond Falls has been called one of the most colorful waterfalls due to the colors of the rock it runs over. This is due to mineral deposits on the rock face.
Hot water like bath water, just seeping out of the ground here. The same French family that originally owned the estate has established this botanical garden, and it's now open for the public.
Cheers! Homemade bean burritos for lunch.
An aqueduct runs through the estate that was used to turn a water wheel that was used to mill sugar at the estate in the old days. This water wheel was also more recently used to produce the first electricity for Soufriere town.
Soufriere itself has some colorful buildings around its main square, and a good guess is that the first stone of this church was laid in the late 1700s. Soufriere also has everything from street food, small beach bars and fancy restaurants for everyone to enjoy.
We are in Soufriere Bay. It's just right next to the two Pitons, and we're on a mooring ball here. You can't anchor, so the mooring balls are not cheap. They're $20 a night. So we're only staying one night. We're clearing out tomorrow. It's our last day in St. Lucia. The scenery is very nice, but the mooring is extremely rolly. And there's almost no wind, so normally you would prefer not a lot of wind in the mooring field, but it also makes you swing around and turn around your mooring ball, and the mooring ball hits the bow of the boat a little bit. So very nice scenery, but a very rolly mooring, so we'll see how we sleep tonight.
We have spotted a few diving boats bringing divers to the waters close to our mooring ball. So after clearing out, we jump in the water with a fender tied to me to make sure we're visible to other boats. It's about 7 meters deep, so my footage isn't as stable as it normally is, but my free diving is definitely improving.
we've recently had a look at some very interesting statistics.
We've decided that we're going to start logging the kilometers we're walking. So as yachties, we walk quite a lot. We spend a lot of time on land and walking to grocery shops, etc. So up to now, it's about 4 months. We've actually walked about 358 kilometers in total on land. And we're also tracking our sailing miles. So just every episode, we'll just flash up these statistics. Up to now, we've sailed 6,540 miles.
We'll keep you posted.
Thank you for watching this episode. Please give us a like, a comment, or subscribe to our channel. Our Patreon link is also given in the description below if you want to make a small contribution to support the making of these videos. Thanks to our existing Patreons, and join us in the next episode as we make our way further south to Kariakou.